Welcome to our second official Fireside Chat. The goal is just to have a cozy conversation and get to know some of our artists in the community. So tonight we have Sara Craft, who she plays the viola in the Gaylord Community Orchestra. And she is going to share with us a little bit about her journey with music. She was sharing a couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago, just her story about how she initially started playing and stopped for a long time and had some challenging life circumstances that encouraged her to pick it back up. And I was like, you know what, you have such a wonderful story. I'm sure there are other people who would love to hear that too. So we invited her to come share at our Fireside Chat, and we're excited to hear from her tonight.
Awesome.
So thank you.
I'm excited to talk about it. Yay. So I will start by talking about the viola. The viola is kind of like a hidden in plain sight type of instrument. Most people have seen it. Most people have heard it. They just don't realize it because it looks so much like a violin. It's shaped like a violin, and you hold it up and you play it like a violin. But we actually sit, if you're looking at the orchestra as like a half pie shape, we are just next to the cellos. So we're actually in between the cellos and the violins. We kind of just blend in. People don't realize. We play in a little bit lower register than violins. So I like to describe it as if a violin and a cello had a baby, that would be the viola. She is kind of right in the middle of them. So not quite as high as violin, not quite as deep and mellow as the cello. And fun fact, if you have watched the movie The Money Pit with Tom Hanks and Shelley Long, this is the instrument that Shelley Long plays in The Money Pit.
How fun.
Everyone probably just assumes she plays the violin.
Yeah.
It's not.
But it's also probably why you're in your placement between the violin and the cello.
Yes. So I started playing the viola in the 6th grade. In the 5th grade, we had band, and I played the flute, and I loved it, and I thought I wanted to be this really pretty flutist. But then in the summer between 5th and 6th grade, I got braces, and it was much more difficult to play the flute with braces. So I made the decision to switch to orchestra because it doesn't matter if you have braces or not. You can play the viola chewing gum. You're not supposed to, but you can. So I switched over to orchestra, and I was actually a couple of days late coming into the class. So they had already assigned all of the instruments, and the only thing that was left was the viola. So I went with it.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit challenging because I already knew how to read treble clef, which is the clef sign that most people recognize. It looks like a fancy S. You can get it on t-shirts and mugs and earrings, and you can find that everywhere. The viola plays in a different clef sign, so it was like having to learn how to read a new language. But I did it, and I loved orchestra because everyone else in orchestra was kind of nerdy and quirky and weird like me, and I felt like that was where I found my friends. Other people in orchestra, we kind of could all band together and commiserate about being nerdy and quirky and weird, especially in middle school because life is very difficult in middle school.
Yeah.
And I stuck with the viola. I really enjoyed it so much that our school district had something called the Junior Symphony, which was outside of school. You had to audition to play in it, but it was like all of the schools in the Lansing School District contributed musicians to the Junior Symphony. So I tried out for that. I think I joined freshman year of high school and played with them for 4 years. And we had rehearsals every week and then concerts a few times throughout the year. We played more challenging music than what we got in school. And that was another place where I made friends outside of my own school that I'm still friends with today just because of music. And it really helped, being in middle school and high school and a young adult, young teenager. Those are really challenging, difficult times in life. So to have a way to connect with other people was really beneficial. And then I I graduated from high school, and once you're out of the school system, you don't really have those same opportunities at that time. So I wasn't able to be in junior symphony anymore because I graduated, I was an adult, and life just kind of took over, which I think is normal for most people. Once you get into your young 20s, life just kind of takes off, and you get married, and you have children, and you buy houses, and you start your career, and it's really easy to let go of the things that were important to you, and you don't even really realize it's happening, it's slipping away. It's just because life is morphing and changing. And then especially, like, as a mom, we talked about it, like how important we feel like our role is to make sure that everyone in our family is okay no matter what, and it's all our responsibility no matter what. And we start out with good intentions. We always have good intentions, but it's something that if left unchecked can become really unbalanced. And I didn't realize it was really unbalanced until my husband was diagnosed with cancer. And that was very dark, very dark. I didn't realize at the time, like it was just like a cloud was hanging over our family, and it wasn't happy or cheerful. I would see things on Facebook or on the news about people who are diagnosed with cancer, and they're doing all these amazing things to like live their best life and be as cheerful as possible, and that wasn't our experience. I'm like, what is wrong with us? But there wasn't anything wrong with us. That's just how that is. That's just normal. And I think one, it's more important to talk about that so that we don't feel so isolated in times like that, because I felt incredibly isolated. Nobody else would understand this experience. Nobody else had this experience. It was just like a black hole. And I was burning the candle at both ends. That was kind of like a high point in my career where I was working maybe 50 hours a week, and they were asking me to go to other, I worked in community management, so they asked me to go to other communities and train other teams, and home life was not great, and I had a young son, so I had to then, work 50 hours a week and come home and pretend like everything was fine and make dinner and do the laundry and do the grocery, and it became this hamster wheel of work and home, work and home, and work and home, and the wheel just kept going faster and faster and faster and faster and faster until I just couldn't keep up anymore, and it felt like everything just crashed. And it's funny now, but it wasn't in the moment. I just sat down on the back porch one day of just a soul draining day and cried my eyes out, and I was sitting there, and then I opened my eyes, and there's like a half circle of our chickens in front of me, like staring at me. Chickens usually don't care. Like they're worse than cats. They really don't care. But they were like, something's wrong with that one. But that was kind of a moment where I'm like, okay, I need to do something. I have to do something different, because this isn't working. Like giving everything I have to everyone else isn't working, and it's really not good for any of us. It isn't working. So I decided two things. One, that I needed to leave that job, and two, that I had to make time to do things for myself again. And this is, now we're 20 years past high school. So we are 20 years since I had touched this viola. She moved with me everywhere. She sat in the closet, untouched, unopened for 20 years. Just, I couldn't let go of it, and all of the like purging for moves, I hung on to it, and I'm glad that I did. But I decided I needed to leave the toxic job, and I had to do something for myself. So leaving the job was actually easier than finding the time to do something for myself. So I found another less stressful or paying job, and it was probably another year or so of me floundering and trying to figure out what I needed to do. And I was sitting in my car one day on my lunch break, like just something has to give. And I went online to just see. I'm like, let's just see who's teaching. Maybe music is a thing. Maybe it's something I could do. So I got online and I looked up the two like music schools near us. I lived in Lansing, so it was Marshall Music or the MSU Community Music School. And Marshall Music had some viola teachers. I never heard of them before. I read their bios and I wasn't excited about it. But then I looked at the MSU Community Music School and realized that my teacher from high school, Sara Craft, was still teaching. She taught my high school orchestra and I took private lessons with her, and she was still teaching. So I'm like, this is a sign from the universe that I need to do this. So I signed up for lessons with her, and I didn't think she would remember me. It had been 20 years. I wasn't like a troublemaker or anything, so I really didn't think that I would stand out. But she 100% remembered me, and she took a photo album off of her shelf, and she was like, look at this, and flipped it open to my senior pictures with my viola. And that was like, I really felt a connection in that moment that was like beyond music. So I started taking viola lessons with her and practicing viola in our laundry room because I didn't really have another dedicated space in the house that could be just for me. So viola lessons were almost like therapy. Like I would go, we would talk, I would learn new pieces, and then I would go home and practice in the laundry room, which I dressed up so it felt like a fancy laundry room. But I was starting to get time for myself, and I was starting to do things for myself, and I was starting to let go of feeling guilty about it. As moms, I think we feel really guilty about any time that we take away from our family, or especially our children. We feel like at least I felt like I was shortchanging him in some way. At this point, he was an early teenager, probably 13, 14. They don't particularly want a lot of your time at that age. So he was pretty okay with me doing things for myself. So it was a year or two of me taking lessons and practicing, and it was just for me. I would go down there and I would play songs, and I felt like myself again, like I could feel that part of myself coming back. And then when I felt like I was passable enough to play with other people, I just like set this intention out into the universe that I wanted to play with other people, and I didn't know how it was going to come about, but I just paid attention. And on Facebook, one of my mutual friends mentioned that her son was playing with a local summer orchestra. It was low commitment. It was like 2 rehearsals and a concert. No auditions, which is great, which meant I could do it. So I reached out and I signed up to play with the summer orchestra. We got the music a few weeks ahead of time, and it was very challenging. I wasn't sure I was ready for it, but I did it anyways, and I practiced as hard as I could. And then playing with the summer orchestra was like a missing piece kind of came back when I went into the rehearsal, and everyone was sitting there and I could hear everyone tuning up and talking, and I got to be part of that. That felt really good, and it was just something me. It wasn't Sara the mom, it wasn't Sara the wife, it wasn't Sara the employee or daughter or sister. It was just for myself, and it felt magical. I'm sure that I played terribly, but there were a lot of people in the orchestra, so I think it wasn't super noticeable. But at the end of our last rehearsal, before the concert, 3 women stood up and they had these t-shirts on that said Mid-Michigan Chamber Orchestra, and they said, hey, we're with the Mid-Michigan Chamber Orchestra. Anyone who wants to join us is welcome, so talk to us after rehearsal. So I did, and I ended up joining the Mid-Michigan Chamber Orchestra and made lots of friends in that group. I was actually in our concert mistress's wedding.
Wow.
And the connections that I made in that really helped me in my anxiety, depression, guilt.
Yeah.
It was so important. It was hugely important to do something like that. And we were not a big fancy group. I call this the bowling league of music groups, but we would meet every week and talk and laugh and share snacks and rehearse, and then we would do concerts at like nursing homes or the library. We did one at the zoo.
I love that.
And it was wonderful. And afterwards, we would go out for like drinks and dinner afterwards. And it was really fun. And while I was doing that, I had another like goal come to my mind that I wanted to play in theater. I wanted to play in the pit for whatever musical would have me.
Yeah.
So at first it was just an unvoiced, like, this is a thing that I want to do. But again, I paid attention, and the conductor of the chamber orchestra was also the music director for a theater, and they needed a viola to play for cabaret.
Wow.
So I got to be part of the Kit Kat band.
Yeah.
Not the part that actually goes on stage, which is great. We're the behind the scenes musicians. But that felt like nothing I ever even imagined I could do when I was in high school. It felt like way beyond, like I had overshot any goal that I had had. And it felt, to me, it felt absolutely magical. Being behind stage and seeing all of the actors behind stage and everyone that goes into putting a production together, and all of the chaos that happens behind stage, and then how it all turns into this beautiful production on stage, just was amazing. And I'm like, I want to do more things like this. And by that time, my son was probably 15, 16, so he really wanted less of my time.
Yeah. Perfect.
So I felt like that was a thing that I could do. So from that, I decided, well, maybe even if I can't do, if there's not as many musical opportunities, because there's not a ton of musical opportunities for violas in theater in that area, maybe I could act in a play. Why not?
Wow.
So I tried out for a local production of Neil Simon's God's Favorite, and I got a place, a role in that was like this big. I played the maid. I think I had maybe 2 or 3 spoken lines through the entire play, but I loved the experience.
Yeah.
And I ended up staying with them. They did a couple of like Christmas productions where they would have small skits and songs, and so I did a couple of Christmas shows with them where I soloed. That was intimidating because I was soloing all by myself on the empty stage. I think I played "Oh Christmas Tree" or something in front of the maybe 30 people that were in the audience, but it felt amazing.
Yeah.
And every time I had an experience, whether it was summer orchestra or chamber orchestra or theater or something like that, I made more connections with people around me and felt less isolated.
Yeah.
Then, so I did all of that. We decided that we were going to move 3 hours away up here, away from all of these things that I had established. But I was ready to take that leap, so I did, and I was already aware of the chamber orchestra, so I reached out to them again.
You had resources.
I
did.
this time. I did have resources this time. I did know how to put the intention out in the universe and pay attention, and so I joined the orchestra and loved it. Everyone there is wonderful. We do probably 4 concerts a year, 2 classical concerts, a Christmas concert, and then our Summer Pops concert that we do at the Pavilion Encore, and that's been an amazing experience. But I still wanted more than 4 times a year. I wanted something more than that for myself up here. I knew it was important, so I just paid attention. And last year, for work, I had to set up a booth at the Gaylord Business Expo. And before the Business Expo started, I told my coworker, I'm like, I'm just going to wander around. I'm just going to wander around and see. Just take a breather. So I saw the Gaylord Arts table, and I met Audra, and I just said yes to every single thing that Audra asked me to do, because I knew that whatever I said yes to was going to have a positive impact on my life.
That's amazing.
Did.
Like poster child.
And it really did. And so I jumped into like as many things as I could here. I joined the Performing Arts Committee and helped at the summer concert series. That was fun. and I'm doing 100 days, and I'm playing the viola for the literary and music prompt, and
Speaking tonight?
I'm speaking tonight. Like, everything that I do kind of feeds my soul, and I think if I hadn't made that decision sitting in my car on my lunch break to just do something, one tiny step, like look for something to do for myself, then all of these other experiences wouldn't have come to me, and I don't know what I would have done. I don't think I would have been as happy of a person as I am now. Not to say I'm happy all the time, but this is also an amazing like coping mechanism if I am having an anxious day or something. I now have a room, like a real room, not the laundry room. I can go into my room and sit down and just focus on myself and play something, and it calms something inside of me.
The hamster.
The hamster. The brain hamster of anxiety.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gets her to sit down and be quiet.
But do you ever play for your chickens?
I did. These chickens that we have here, I do play outside, and they're kind of indifferent. But when we lived in Lansing, I did have a concert series for chickens in the backyard, and I would just take my viola out there, and they would come and listen.
See, they were in tune. They knew that you had something for
I
them.
think they knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
Mhm.
I will now take questions from the audience if anyone has questions.
Sorry about that. I've been asking.
Well, that's cool. I
You
didn't
totally-
realize you had done cabaret, or that you were in theater.
Yeah, that's so fun.
Yeah.
Do you do theater stuff here?
No.
They do have stuff.
I know. I'm thinking about it. So Gaylord, there's Gaylord Community Players. I think
Productions or
Gaylord
something?
Community Productions that does a show every summer.
And I've heard they do a good job.
And there's a lot of crossover between
Yeah.
the orchestra and Gaylord
Yeah.
Community Production. So I'm sure something will come up.
Or improv.
Improv that we talked about last night. That was maybe. Who
That
knows?
would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like I've gotten back to, life ebbs and flows. So even though I've done this and I've done all of these things for myself, it doesn't mean that like life was always on an upward trajectory. That would be nice, but that's not realistic. But I think it's something that helps like keep things
Yeah.
even for me, and it's a
Mhm.
good way to like make friends. I think as adults it's hard to make friends as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Like it's very, very isolating as an adult, and you don't have the like same activities as you do as a kid, like school or scouts or
Yeah.
youth group or music to connect. So
I loved that last night. So we had our 100 days last night, and she was sharing that we asked people what they wanted to get, what they were most excited about getting out of the group, and she shared that she wanted to connect with everyone. And I could hear that through what you were saying, because that was your, like, this has been your goal. Like, you
Yes.
use music and art and whatever to creativity to connect with people.
correct.
I love it.
Yes. The actual, I don't want to say quality, because I feel like I'm passable as a musician, but the connection is primary and the music is
It's a vehicle.
secondary. It's a vehicle.
Yeah.
It's a vehicle.
Do you ever get nervous, like the first time you played like by yourself in front of people? Like, how
Yes.
did you?
I was nervous tonight.
I can't tell.
No, you did great.
Thank you. Yes, I do get nervous. I don't get nervous at orchestra concerts because there are so many people on that stage that I'm not front and center, and I kind of harmonize with everyone else around me, so I don't feel like I'm the center of attention in an orchestra concert. The place I feel the most nervous is playing in small groups, like playing with a quartet. When you are the only instrument, you are your entire section. So if you make a mistake or get lost, you really can't hide it or fudge it or catch up. It's very noticeable. The favorite place is actually to play by myself, because I don't have to keep up with the orchestra or other musicians. I can go at my own pace. I can set my own bowing and volume and whatever I want. And if I make a mistake, I can just keep playing and pretend it didn't happen, and I don't fall behind or get lost.
Mhm.
So if I'm playing alone, it's easiest.
You can play anything you want.
Yeah, I can choose all of my own music. I don't have someone
Yeah.
else tell me what I have to play.
Yeah.
Does your viola have a name?
Yes.
Are you allowed to share?
Her name is Lilith.
Lilith.
Lilith,
Yeah.
Like, great.
like Lilith Fair, or maybe like.
Has it
Lilith
always
from-
been Lilith?
Yes.
Wow.
I think I was really obsessed with watching Cheers as a teenager.
Yeah?
So I think some of it is Lilith from Cheers, and
Yeah.
some of it is like Lilith Fair.
I didn't realize she went like all the way back to Cheers. I just think it's Frasier.
I'm like old school.
Yeah.
Old school. Yeah,
Cool.
reruns of Cheers.
I love that you also got to help Lilith live her best life again.
Yeah.
She
Yes.
sat away for a while.
She's not tucked away in the back of my closet behind all of my winter clothes. Like, I'm actually out playing her. And I noticed something is a lot of musicians do this. Like, I have finger
Yeah.
marks on here, but I pay attention when I look at other people's instruments, and a lot of people have those same
Yeah.
finger marks.
Shows you loved her.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's well loved. She could use a little bit of a bath. There's a lot of rosin that I didn't clean up.
I don't even know.
So does your son play anything?
No, he does
He's
not.
inspired by your
No,
Singing or anything?
no.
Wow.
He was more into sports.
Okay.
Sports and like science and electronics and STEM related.
Mm-hmm.
So it really is just something for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truly.
And what is the clef? Is that the right thing?
Clef.
For
Yes.
because I didn't know that it was a different one. I didn't know there was a different one.
There are different clef signs. So the most recognizable clef signs are treble clef.
Yeah, I know that one.
So treble clef
And bass.
is like the highest
Yeah.
register. It looks like the fancy S. And then you have bass clef that kind of looks like a backward C with a couple of dots. Alto clef is
I know.
in the middle. And I should have brought a demonstration. I have it on my music page I can show you. It looks like a 3 and a 5 with 2 lines next to them. And so the highest register is treble clef, the lowest is bass. Alto kind of spans some of both of them. That's interesting.
You're very all around is like you're bridging the gap
Yes,
for your instrument and your clef.
exactly.
What is like the most unconventional song you played on that?
I don't know. I play, personally, when I choose to play music, it's typically not classical like I play with the orchestra. It's more contemporary. I really like Neil Young. I've played some Queen. I like show tunes. I even enjoy a lot of like Celtic, Irish jigs and things like that. Although I am not as good as a lot of people I know at that.
You should play somewhere on like St. Patrick's Day. Like
We
open mic.
should.
Have like a St. Patrick's Day event.
Yeah.
What's is it Lindsay Sterling? Is that her name?
Yes.
You can like do a little jig.
No.
She's amazing.
Yeah.
I wish I was the Lindsay Sterling violist, but yeah, she makes playing the violin like cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you made it look cool.
Thank you.
Yes, you do too.
Thank you. Kind of different.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. Should I play something?
Yeah, we would
for
love
you?
to.
Okay.
Here.
Awesome. All right, so I played a snippet of this for Marie before we got started, but I'm going to play Reverie by Debussy. And I like this song because it's kind of a slow, meditative, relaxing song.
Do you have another one?
I have other ones.
I want to hear a Neil Young one sometime.
Oh, I should have brought Neil Young, but how do you feel about Queen?
I mean, that would be interesting.
I have Love of My Life by Queen. Queen is one of my favorite bands.
So fun.
Thank you.
It sounded very elegant.
Yeah.
For Queen, it did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yay.